by Jerome. All right, how am I using AI? Let's get to the meat of it. There's a handful of tools that I rock with. Some of them I just learned about. Some of them I've actually talked to some of y'all about, and like I can already see you guys using it, so I'm geeked about it. That's one of the reasons why I want to do the live show today. So let's get into the nitty-gritty as far as the tools. First tool I recommend, which I love, is OPUS Pro. It's www.opus.pro. Click on there, check it out. It has a free trial. You can run with it. Here's what OPUS Pro does, which is fantastic for creators and even podcasters like myself. You give it a video. Let's say I had a fun conversation with Jonathan Fields. Shout out to Jonathan. He did a book called Sparked. There it is. See? He did a book called Sparked. We had a great conversation. I split it into, when the book came out, I split it into 2 different interviews. You can check it out at bringyourworth.tv. Just look up Jonathan Fields. I can put the link in there, but it's much easier just to do a quick search. Jonathan Fields, Damon Brown, Sparked, bringyourworth.tv. What it does is you can upload that video, particularly with like a podcast conversation or even some of my solo conversations with y'all that are part of the regular Bring Your Worth show. You upload it, and then after, I would say about 10 minutes, it'll spit out the shorts. Shorts are another term for the things you see on TikTok, where it's generally a clip that's, what's it called? That's vertical. What's it called? So like, see my old school iPhone here, but it's like this size, so vertical. And a short is generally 60 seconds or less. It will spit out shorts based on the most interesting things that the AI is hearing you two talk about. So some of the most interesting stuff that Jonathan and I talked about, we talked for about 30 minutes or so. The AI will go through and say, oh, Jonathan was making a point about how to find your creative spark. And the special quiz that he uses called that can find your sparketype. That clip, and then your reaction to it and how you respond to him talking about the sparketype, that would make an interesting short. So we made a short out of it. We did the closed captioning. If you watch the show, all my shows have closed captioning because I try to be inclusive. And so all of my shows have about, I think they have about 24 languages that they're available. So if you're speaking Russian or Ukrainian, if you're speaking Spanish or Italian, even if you're speaking Portuguese or you're speaking Dutch, a lot of my things, almost all my videos do that, particularly over the past year or two, where I've tried to be more thoughtful about that. It'll automatically do the captions, and then that gets into my motivation. And it's like, here's the clip. Here's a 32-second clip. Here's a 55-second clip. Here's a 10-second clip. And then it'll actually explain why that clip resonated so much based on the AI tool. It's fantastic. I know some of y'all podcasters are already using it based on me shouting it out during the keynote. I just learned about it last week, right before my keynote, and other people are using it. It is a blast. It's a lot of fun. And this is what I mean by partnering with AI, where if you have a video podcast, or if you have like a show like I do, and again, the emphasis is on video here, finding the most juicy material, the most interesting things to make clips out of, again, I'll use the term shorts, can be really hard because you don't have the objectivity, right? Number 2, if you're an editor of the video, which I'm my own editor with it, you've already looked at the material like 10, 20, 30 times, particularly like a long video. Like the interview that I had with Jonathan Fields, I probably looked at the video, I don't even want to guess how many times, a lot of times. And so it's like, you doing a book and then you wrote the manuscript, you're looking over the manuscript and it's just like, oh my gosh, like how long? Like your brain starts to go to mush. This is a great partner to have that. Now, the key thing is I didn't say that the AI created the clips. I didn't say the AI did the interviews. What I said is that you create the content and the AI helps you slice and dice it so it gets the best out of the content you've made. Huge distinction personally from me. I'm still doing the work. I'm still showing up. I'm still having the guests on my show. I'm still doing the work on the show. I'm still scripting stuff. I'm still editing. But they're able to be with Opus Pro an excellent partner with this, which I think is what it's all about. Another tool I recommend, and I've talked about this before, is midjourney.ai. I think it's at midjourney.com, but it's technically called midjourney.ai. Fantastic tool. What it does, and I talked about this during the keynote, so be sure and link to go to asj.org. If you were an attendee of the conference, but you missed my keynote, I talked all about this. What it does is you can actually put in a certain description. You can say, a big chicken running across the I-95 freeway in Florida, heading towards the bathroom. And I just made that up, as you can tell. And then you put in that particular detail, it's called a prompt, and then it will spit out 4 examples of that thing that you just imaginated. There's a lot of power in that. And you can imagine as an author, again, I've done 26 books, the complete Bring Your Worth collection's coming out this fall. It'll be 27 soon. And I'm not a graphic artist, but I can write my behind off. And so being able to leverage that makes it really interesting and really fun. I actually took the Ultimate or the Bite-Sized Entrepreneur, my bestseller from a few years ago, and turned it into a visual book. And let me go ahead and get the link for y'all right now. There we go. There we go. Just give me one moment. All right. There we go. Yeah, thank you for your patience. Sound like a flight attendant. All right, there it is. Oh, let's try that one more time. Oh, yeah. My tech is playing with me right now. Give me one moment. There we go. I am just going to put the video here. Apologies. It looks like some of the challenges are happening with my technology. There's the link to it right there. And that is the Bite-Sized Entrepreneur Remastered. And so that actually came out and got published a little bit earlier this year. There's the link to it right there. So I'll just toggle back and forth. And I took my entire, the first book, the Bite-Sized Entrepreneur Trilogy, which you guys made a bestseller. Thank you again. I'm humbled even years later, from 2016, and made images on it using Midjourney AI and utilizing that technology, as well as the audio from my audiobook that came out around 2017. And it was a fantastic, fun process. It was intense, but I ended up learning so much about Midjourney AI, and then y'all seem to really appreciate that. Midjourney AI for visual art, that's highly recommended. I'm having fun with it right now. And even some of the clients I work with are able to take advantage of Midjourney AI because I understand how to use it, which has been a fantastic learning experience. I recommend, again, this Sunday, 1:11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Vegas time. This is premiering What Creators Should Know About AI in 3 short videos. That's actually going to talk about this whole process way more that articulate than I am today, and getting into that detail. It's only 8 minutes long. Please go ahead, click on it. You can tap the notify me or keep me posted. I think it's notify me link on there, and YouTube will send you a message when it's premiering in case you forget this Sunday. If you're like me, you got kids or busy life or whatever, if you happen to forget, be sure to do the notify me, or you can just subscribe and do notify on that, and you'll get notified whenever a new episode comes out. Feel free to hop your questions, hop into the questions and put your questions in there if you have any other questions in regards to that. One book that I would recommend to kind of get your perspective as far as what kind of work you should be doing and could be doing as a creator in sync with technology is A Song of Significance by Seth Godin. As some of y'all know, he's been a mentor of mine, mostly from afar, and I got a chance to connect with him over the last couple of years when I joined the marketing seminar, I want to say in 2000. Oh, I was in 2000, because a lot of the work that I did for my book from a couple of years ago, Build From Now, was actually done in conjunction with the marketing seminar. Shout out to Akimbo and the folks over there. I had a fantastic time. It was a lot of great growth. I got a chance to chat with Seth too, which is fantastic. I've been a fan of his for a while. Song of Significance, little tiny book, as his books usually are. Excuse me. And it's talking about having a meaningful career, which sometimes often becomes having a meaningful life. And with that insight, if you're planning on doing something of meaning, of significance, and you're in an organization or you're individual like myself, you have to understand that technology is not going to replace your voice. It can't. Now, there's technology that will literally mimic your voice, and there's technology that will try to mimic your actions and your face and all those things. I'll talk about that again on the episode of Premiering on Sunday about what creators need to know about AI in 3 short videos. But they can't. Technology, and specifically AI, cannot tell you how you're going to show up in the world. It cannot tell you who to serve. It can't tell you who you are. This book gets into that and doesn't even talk about technology specifically. It's just in general. If you're going to show up in a certain way, you ideally are your full self. Your full self could be augmented by technology, but it cannot be replaced by technology. That is a key difference. The book is beautiful at articulating that, as are a lot of his recent books. His one, The Practice, is actually one of my recent favorites, as well as his book, This is Marketing, is also fantastic. But they have a similar energy, similar vibe. If you appreciate my work, Seth Godin is the OG, as they say, of this. And so please check out his book. It's fantastic. Shout out to Seth. Speaking of voices and words and things that we're going to use, recommended tool, ChatGPT prompts for discussion. ChatGPT, really simple, allows you to put a certain question. It's called prompts in Techland. That has not changed since I learned programming ages ago. It's called a prompt. So you can ask a certain question or request, often in the form of a question. No jeopardy here, but often in the form of a question. And this ChatGPT platform will spit back a response to you. This response is based on all this data being fed to the main server, the main computer that's talking to you. I did a recent article and I was doing some research, and I found out that it costs $700,000, estimated $700,000 US a day to get ChatGPT going. So you can imagine the amount of processing power. If you think about all the things you can do with your phone right now, or I'm talking literally to the entire world right now on my little rinky-dinky computer, you can imagine the power that ChatGPT has. Now, there's all these kind of other issues with it, which we will save for another thing. And I talk about it again on the episode that's premiering this Sunday. Be sure and subscribe for free or hit the notification bell if you want to go ahead and make sure you don't miss it. But going into ChatGPT and think it's going to fix everything or do the work for you, that's a little bit delusional. That's not going to happen. We still need to do the work, which is why I talked about in my ASJ keynote, you don't have to worry about technology taking your job as a creative unless you're not doing your job. That's what I'm hinting at. I'm highly recommending this link, and shout out to the American Society of Journalists and Authors members who sent this link to me. It might have been one of y'all. It might have been Jennifer, my colleague, who I had during the happy hour after my keynote last week. But it's prompts.chat. Type that up. It will actually give interesting open source, which means it's just edited by the public, information on how to master and work really well with ChatGPT. I've worked with ChatGPT a lot, or I shouldn't say a lot, quite a bit, a lot more recently, I should say. I wasn't really working with it much. Now I'm working with it a little bit more, usually through other platforms and all those other things. It's one of those things where it takes a while to get the hang of it. As soon as I checked out prompts.chat, again, shout out to ASJ for sending it over to me last week, it kind of cleared things up. I'm like, oh, So that's what it means, and that's the way I should approach it. Still working on it. Same thing with like Midjourney, where I've been working with Midjourney for 6 months. No, it has to be more than 6 months. Let's just say I've been working with Midjourney for 9 months to a year. There's certain insights that I have about it, which again, I'm going to share in the Sunday's episode, that other people wouldn't have because they haven't worked with it as much. Same thing. Like, I haven't worked with ChatGPT that much, at least not directly. There's a lot of insights here that like I wouldn't even know to give you, because they're so interesting and they're so specific to the ChatGPT platform. So if you're trying to rock with ChatGPT, be sure and check that out. Excuse me. And I'm going to go and check the comments. I think everything is answered. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, because I think I covered everything. I'm also getting tongue-tied and we're approaching 45 minutes, a little bit longer than I was planning on doing. But to take it from the top, this is the smart AI tools for creators. And if you're at ASJ, the American Society of Journalists and Authors Conference, you want to hear me talk more about AI, how it's impacting us, and how we're actually safer than we probably are, then be sure and go to asj.org. You can watch the replay of the work that I did, as well as the other wonderful speakers and panels that were happening during mine or right after mine. So there's a lot of tracks going on. I'm actually going to go back later on this week and check it out and have some fun with that. And it's been fantastic. Oh no, thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully that'll help you get to the next level. And I think for the ASJ conference, excuse me, as I mentioned, I think they're going to open it up to the public later on. So you'll be able to watch the replay, check it out, all those other good things. And be sure and check out my colleague, Jennifer Goforth Gregory's course. Again, it's gotten really good feedback. And I don't even know, I know she's had a lot of people come through the course. So I don't know how long it's going to be open or any of that. That's why I keep pushing it. Like, if you want to get to the next level, definitely check out Jennifer's stuff. And we had, again, good conversation during ASJ. So if you're catching the replays, be sure to check a replay of our happy hour. You'll see me with my traditional gin and tonic during the conversation. It was a fun, lively conversation. This Sunday, what creators should know about AI in 3 short videos. I was not planning on making this video, and then after I did the keynote and all the conversations that came after the keynote from people who were there, as well as people who heard, the scuttlebutt, the buzz outside of that, of the conference, not just me, but of the conference. There are all these questions that are coming about AI, and I'm like, maybe I should go ahead and do something, to go ahead and help y'all get to the next level, and even to consolidate my own information and knowledge as I get deeper into AI and see what's going to happen next. And I recommend Opus Pro if you're a video podcaster or have a show like I do. It is golden. I'm a huge fan. I can't speak more highly of it. Midjourney for the visual art. Again, if you catch Sunday's show, or even if you come to bringyourworth.tv and check out, of course, the Bite-Sized Entrepreneur Remastered over there. That actually is based on Midjourney, so you can learn all about that there. They have free trials. I think they give, at this recording, I think they give you a dozen images free. Play with it. As I've always said to people using AI, unless you're doing war game stuff, nothing's gonna break, so you're good. Sorry for the dated 1982 reference. All right, and then ChatGPT prompts for discussion, prompts.chat. I am not a ChatGPT expert by any means. Again, you should check out Jennifer's course for that, but I know where to go to get the information, and that's the main source that I want to be for you. Remember, you can catch the Bring Your Worth show every Wednesday and Sunday, 1:11 Pacific Standard, PM Pacific Time, not AM, but PM Pacific Standard Time, Vegas time. Check it out at the new address, bringyourworth.tv. And if you're ready to subscribe, click the link below. And the complete Bring Your Worth collection is out October 20th. Hit me up on Amazon for the Kindle.